Hello everyone, this is Chris and I'm here with Landon and we are in Washington, D.C. and we are doing a different type of hike. We are going to do an urban hike around the National Mall to see the monuments like the Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial, and a bunch of others. So come with us as we journey through the National Mall and check out the different monuments around here. All right, here we go. This is the Washington Monument, and it is the tallest structure in DC, standing at about 555 feet. Now, if you look closely at the stones, you'll see that they're two different colors. And that's because during the Civil War, they paused construction, and when they started back up, they got the stones from a different quarry from where they started. I think it was completed around 1884. Now, if you want to purchase tickets to get into the monument, to go all the way to the top, you can get them online. I'll try to put that website below, but as you can see here, we tried to get them from the ticket office, but it was closed. You can try to do that. We just felt privileged to be able to see the monument from the outside, and we enjoyed it that way. Now, we're off to the White House. We are on the opposite side of the White House from Pennsylvania Avenue. I don't know, is this the front? Is it the back? I'm not sure. We do not have tickets, so we're not going in. If you're hungry and you see a food truck, you better grab one. On our way to the Lincoln Memorial, we're going to stop at is this the World War II Memorial?
Yeah.
All right, World War II Memorial, and then the reflecting pool up to the Lincoln Memorial. So there's these different engravings along the wall at the World War II Memorial, and people put flowers in there, I guess to commemorate people they know that fought in World War II. And the reflecting pool is behind me, and looking at the World War II Memorial, and of course, the Washington Monument. So right there in the red and blue shirts, I believe that is the Freedom Flight. Those are military personnel that have flown here for the day. So when you are going to the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial and the reflecting pool, there's also these memorials that are off to the sides, like the Vietnam War Memorial. Right behind us is the Women's Vietnam Memorial, and we're headed to, I guess, the regular Vietnam Memorial. So make sure you take a map or something so you know where those memorials are off to the side so you don't miss out on them. All right, we have made it to the Lincoln Memorial.
It's way bigger than I thought. There's a lot of engravings on it that I didn't know were there. Very crowded though.
Yeah, there's states, and I guess maybe those are the years that they became states. Yeah,
it's pretty sweet. And then got the Washington Monument over there.
Yeah, we started way down there. We've walked 2.5 miles, over 2.5 miles actually. All right, let's go check it out. Well, there he is, Abraham Lincoln in all his glory. Here we have the Gettysburg Address. So one guy was telling us that he is sitting on a Roman throne, and then you can see sticks that are bound together, shows strength and unity, that we're better together, stronger together. So pretty cool symbolism there. Let me pause here just for a minute. You heard me mention about using a map. Well, this is the one that we use, and it was extremely helpful for us. At the bottom, it says washington.org. Now, maybe you can go to that website to get it. I got it from AAA. You might be able to get it at the Visitors Bureau in the city. I'm not sure, but it was extremely helpful for us. And as you can see, it is well used. But let me open it up and show you what it has. The map gives you a great layout of the city, at least from a tourist perspective. You can see the monuments, you can see where the museums are, even some of the government buildings and other points of interest. You can even see Arlington over here in Virginia. Right here in the green in the middle, well, that's the Washiington Mall. That is what we're hiking today. But besides that, one of the great things I liked about this map is it also included the metro lines, the train that runs through the city. And that's how we got around. We did not drive into the city because of the traffic. Now, I like the other side better. Let me show that to you. Now you can see this map has been well used. For the 4 days we were there, we used this map every day, and it was just super handy. So sorry it's a little bit wrinkled. As you can see on this other side, the map is more condensed, and that's one reason I liked this side of the map. But also the metro stops were a little more clear to see. And in fact, let me tell you, here at the bottom, you can see all the stops in this diagram. And we were staying in Maryland. We stayed over here in Maryland near National Harbor. And to get on the metro stop, we would drive across the Potomac and over to Old Alexandria. And we got on at the Eisenhower Avenue stop. And there was a great parking garage, or not actually a parking garage, a parking lot there. It cost us about $8 a day, no trouble parking. And we would get on the yellow line and usually take the yellow line in into wherever we needed to go and sometimes catch another line. In fact, to get to the Washiington Mall, we took the yellow line up to La Enfant Plaza, and then we would take the blue line on up to the Smithsonian stop. And the Smithsonian stop is right here, and here's the La Enfant Plaza right there. If you are going to use the metro to get around town, I encourage you to use the Smart Trip app, because there you can buy one ticket or multi-tickets. You can add as much money on there as you think you're going to need. And whenever you go through the turnstiles, you just move your phone over the reader and you just go in. And then when you go out, you do the same thing. As you go out, that's when the money is deducted. You can buy a ticket at the station if you'd like, but the app was so much more convenient for us to use. All right, let's get back to the rest of the video. So you got this beautiful lake that connects the Martin Luther King Memorial over to the Jefferson Memorial. All right, Landon, so we are about 3/4 of the way into our urban hike of the Memorial Mall here in Washington. And we've already done almost 4 miles. What do you think about the walk?
Honestly, I don't think the walking's so bad. I'm wearing comfortable shoes. My legs don't hurt. I'm not tired. I'm just a little hungry.
Yeah, we're trying to find some lunch, and all the food trucks seem to be on the other side where we were earlier. But Landon brings up a good point, comfortable shoes. Make sure you bring comfortable shoes if you're gonna do this walk. And I had heard it was like a 2.5 mile walk, the whole Washington Mall. But if you wanna see the monuments on the side, it's more. I pledge you, I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people. So if you need a place in the shade, make sure you head over to the FDR Memorial and eat your lunch there, eat a snack or whatever.
Should have waited until we got under this tree.
No trees. Obviously, when you're walking on the National Mall, it is a place of history. That is why you're there, is to see these different presidents and different other figures of the U.S. political history scene. Man, we keep ducking. So that's what you're getting. You're getting some history. I used to live in this area back in 79 to 81, lived at Fort Belvoir when my dad was in the Army, and then again in Maryland up until 83. And we used to come here a lot for school trips and just with our family. And it was always a great place. And it's interesting to be back, because I haven't been back since probably 1983. Some of it has not changed besides a few new memorials. A lot of it has changed, and I don't remember the traffic being this crazy. And just people everywhere. So we have pretty much completed our tour, our walk, our hike, whatever you want to call it, of the Washington National Mall. We're kind of heading back towards the Washington Monument. So, Landon, let's kind of review here a little bit. What are a couple of points, positive or negative, of our hike on the National Mall?
It was really good. Maybe I just would say don't come toward the end of May, because that's when all the 8th graders go on their DC trips. But it's been really fun. The weather's been fine. I mean, it's not particularly sunny, but it feels good out. The walk's honestly not too bad. I mean, we took a lot of detours, took long ways around, and I feel fine. Just need some lunch in me.
Yes, we're still trying to find a place to eat lunch. And that's one point he brings up there about trying to eat lunch. You know,
A lot of low trees too.
a lot of low trees stuck there. There's not a lot of places to eat, you know, so either bring your lunch or hit the food trucks as soon as you see them. We're trying to hopefully get back to some of those or find a restaurant. I don't think there's a lot of restaurants around here. Another good point Landon brought up, we're here in the middle of May. A lot of school groups still here. Wasn't too bad, just a little more crowded maybe at some of the memorials. Noisy. Not sure when the best time is to come. Maybe fall might be a great time
Oh,
to come
fall
here.
would be very beautiful. It's a very beautiful park. I understand why it's a national park. Got to keep it preserved. Fall
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah, and then with the trees and the lake and everything, it would be really pretty. By the way, there are plenty of restrooms scattered throughout the mall as well, and I didn't find them crowded. It wasn't like long lines per se. Cleanliness,
Lacking a bit.
lacking a little bit in cleanliness, but at least there's bathrooms along the way if you need it. Now, if you want, you can take the mall all the way to the Capitol building. We're not doing that right now because we're actually headed to another museum after we eat lunch. And we'll go to the Capitol some other time, but you can complete that. By the way, we are done back to our starting point. We've done 5.5 miles total.
Yeah.
5.5. What'd you think about that?
It really didn't feel long until the end. Time went by pretty fast, but now I'm hungry, ready for lunch.
Yeah, I think we did that in, let's see, it's 1:45. I think we did that in about 2.5 hours, maybe a little longer. Well, thanks for joining us. Hope to see you all in another video. See you later. Bye.